And so it's been an action-packed week of diplomatic intrigue at the United Nations. Tensions at the SAARC foreign ministers' meeting has set the stage for Prime Minister Modi and Pak Prime Minister's address at the UNGA on Thursday. Now, in a manner typical of Pakistan's desperate and churlish behaviour governed by its deep state's policy on Kashmir, Pakistan's Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi firstly delayed the SAARC foreign ministers' meeting by not entering the room and then boycotting Jaishankar's address. This behaviour, which clearly is unbecoming of a senior government functionary, led to Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar addressing the meet in his absence. Subsequently, he gave a befitting response to Pakistan by not being a part of Qureshi's rant. Qureshi's diplomatic faux pas is a culmination of the 6 days of proceedings so far. Islamabad has touted its single-point agenda, failing to get much traction on what it calls Mission Kashmir. However, when confronted on shelter to global terrorist Hafiz Saeed, Qureshi evaded WION's questions that the government, however, has showcased that it has global issues on its mind: the economy, bilateral trade and climate change. And reporting non-stop from the United Nations headquarters, my colleagues Palki Sharma Upadhyay, Siddhant Sibal and Anas Malik send us this report. Have a look.
The New York Times
We are at the media center in the United Nations compound, and this structure has been especially set up for the United Nations General Assembly session, when leaders from across the world sit inside and make statements and debate and discuss various issues. Then journalists from their respective countries also gather here to cover. So through the day, you see these benches behind me filled with print, TV, radio, digital journalists, and they cover different stories and different issues. But for the journalists from South Asia, the biggest issue still remains the India-Pakistan conflict. And today was a very dramatic day. With me are my colleagues Anas Malik, WION's Islamabad Bureau Chief, and Siddhant Sibal, our diplomatic correspondent in Delhi. Anas, let's begin with you. What happened at the SAARC meeting?
Well, it was along the expected lines that the Pakistani side would do some theatrics, and it is exactly how it was. It was a repeat of what happened last year, only that the role was switched. Pakistani Foreign Minister opted to quote-unquote boycott, or in a way snub that as what he is claiming the Indian side, and that he did not show up. He showed up a way later, after only Jaishankar, the Indian External Affairs Minister, was done speaking, and only that he came after that, and then he started talking, saying that everybody has agreed on holding the SAARC summit in Pakistan, long-standing demand that has been there. But what needs to be understood is that on one end, the Pakistani side says that SAARC is not a bilateral forum. SAARC is a multilateral forum. Bilateral issues should not be discussed over there. At the same time, the Pakistani side made this ground that quote-unquote, what is happening in Kashmir, the situation in Kashmir, that was made the ground for quote-unquote boycotting this Indian EM's session.
Siddhant, we always expected some drama and some fireworks, but not going until the Indian minister leaves and so on seems a bit juvenile.
Well, of course it's juvenile, but the drama was expected, and WION was present also, me and Anas both, and when we got this information that the Pakistani foreign minister will not be entering the room till the time our foreign minister does not finish his statement, it was shocking for everyone, especially the Indian media, because its reputation in a sense. And in fact, WION was present last year also in the same very room, in the same very third floor of that hotel where the drama took place. And once the meeting got over, the Pakistani foreign minister made a statement. He came out, spoke to the Indian Pakistani press. Of course, the Indian press asked questions on terrorism, on Hafiz Saeed, but he did not answer us. He left. He just spoke about Kashmir. He spoke about his agenda and claimed to have support of all the SAARC countries when it comes to SAARC summit. The so-called SAARC summit, he said, will take place in Islamabad. One question was asked, will Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi participate in the summit? He had no reply.
You know, Anas, we come from Bollywood nation, and in Bollywood lingo it's said that this was perhaps the trailer. The full movie will release tomorrow, which is a Friday. So what do we expect from the Friday blockbuster?
Well, the Friday blockbuster is all about Kashmir, Kashmir and Kashmir. The Pakistani Prime Minister will go on a rant on Kashmir, quote-unquote, the Kashmir crisis as what he has been calling. And the Pakistani Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in fact, the whole dispensation, most of the cabinet members are in New York. They've flown over from Islamabad. We're in that very hotel. And they're saying that they're here to support the Pakistani Prime Minister. Not sure what support they will be giving to the Pakistani Prime Minister. But it's all about Kashmir. Imran Khan's focus will somehow be on the Afghan peace process, will somehow be on regional stability and development. But by and large, he will be focusing on Kashmir, something that he has not been able to garner much more support. Today he held two bilaterals, one with the Indonesian Vice President, that was the polar side, and the other with Sergei Lavrov, the Russian Federation's foreign minister, who's also the Russian delegation's lead. But again, his only focus there too was Kashmir and not bilateral relations. So by and large, the Pakistani side, there have been hints that he might just go on to do a bigger announcement. What is that bigger announcement? There are a lot of anticipation that he can possibly say that we're pulling back the armed forces as per the 1948 resolutions, but those are only speculations on the Pakistani side of Kashmir. But nothing concrete as you speak. Some moments ago, the Pakistani Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi also addressed a press conference. He said that we have to wait for tomorrow, but there is no clarity on what is exactly going to come, except for the fact that there is one liner that it is going to be about Kashmir.
Right, and I do not meet very many people who use the name of Imran Khan and regional stability and peace process in the same sentence, so that should be interesting. India has consciously made sure or attempted to make this prime ministerial visit about everything, a comprehensive agenda. But tomorrow it may not be possible to evade the K word, and when the Pakistani Prime Minister puts it as part of his speech is going to be centered around Kashmir. India is known for strong rebuttals, and is this what the government of India and the contingent is prepared for?
Well, there will be two parts. First, the speech of the Indian Prime Minister. Expect everything barring Pakistan. De-hyphenation in capital letters. He will be talking about India's vision, India's roadmap. He will be giving his vision. The last time he addressed was 2014. He gave a proposal, Yoga Day. It's celebrated across the world. Constructive use of that platform. Second part will be right of reply. Well, right of reply comes when the other leaders, when the Pakistani Foreign Minister will be ranting about Kashmir, then the right of reply will come, and we will expect what we expect always, what we saw in the United Nations Human Rights Commission, where India responded saying that Pakistan being the epicenter of terrorism, Pakistan trying to divert. Well, I think I have been speaking to Pakistanis also. There is a segment who says they're wasting the opportunity. For our side, our focus has been to use this opportunity. Even every day of this visit, of the week-long visit, which will end in the grand finale, has been constructively used by the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Right. So the Indian Prime Minister and the Indian government were hoping to make this platform the launch pad for Prime Minister Modi to take global leadership. But he remains hemmed in by regional challenges, by Pakistan. So how is the Indian leadership going to balance the two? It's safe to say that tomorrow will not be a dull day at the United Nations General Assembly. Watch all the action here.
Was pretty much
several issues when it comes to